Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you so much, Coding Blocks, for having me over here, inviting me. And it is a pleasure to be here on the occasion of International Women's Day. So I'll quickly introduce myself to everyone. I am Navika Chhauda, and I'm a Gold Microsoft Student Ambassador. Recently, I was a speaker at Microsoft Ignite 2021. I am a strong advocate of women's right and right of a person with disabilities. And I have been into teaching and education and using technology to empower the girls in my community since the last 7 years. And presently, I'm empowering the students with a disability. My efforts have been recognized, and I have been awarded with Women's Achiever of India, Pramerica Spirit of Community Service Awardee, India Book of Record holders, and my name in the top 100 world record holders, and many more. And currently, I'm in my third year, and I am pursuing Bachelor's of Information Technology from BVCOE, New Delhi, India. As I entered into this field of Bachelor's of Information Technology, I realized that gender gap is one of the major issues where the participation of girls in the STEM field is much, much less than that of boys. So keeping that in mind, with the help of Microsoft Student Ambassadors program, I kind of started conducting events to improve the participation of girls in the STEM field and to update them with the latest Microsoft tech tools, which might not be available to them, maybe because of affordability or accessibility issues. And my main idea was to make them leaders in their respective careers. Now, as we all know, that technology has always been essential to us, right? But after this pandemic has hit us all, it has actually become a necessity. And rather, I can say that technology is something which actually kept us going the whole last year and, kept us connected across the globe in spite of the lockdown situation. So it is very important that we all should be well versed with the latest tech tools so that we are not left behind. And maybe if someone, if it is not available to someone, we should empower that person, right? And no one should be deprived of learning the latest tech tools, maybe because of lack of knowledge or lack of awareness. Now, what is the significance of having equal number of men and women in the technical world in the IT sector? So having gender equality in the technical industry, I'm talking about the IT sector, as per the latest resources and studies, it shows that if you have equal number of boys and girls, it is for the betterment of the diverse team performance, and it increases the collective intelligence, which further helps in the performance, growth, and productivity of a team and the company. So, therefore, it is very important that more and more women should be added in the technological company so that they achieve their goals. Now, this is the takeaway from an employer's point of view. Why should he include women in his companies? But why should we girls be part of this IT sector? What are the advantages? What are our benefits, being part of the IT sector? So the very first one is the job opportunities. We have plethora of job opportunities in the IT sector, right? We have a lot of big top-notch companies who exclusively so many times just come to the college to just recruit girls. And even during the pandemic time, we had big IT companies coming over with exclusive interview opportunities, recruitment opportunities for internship just for girls. So they had these schemes and all available. So what I'm trying to say is there are a lot of opportunities for us out there, but we need to take that first baby step and enter into this IT sector so that we can avail those opportunities, because those opportunities are for us. And the IT sector is more than encouraging and welcoming us into the field. The second advantage of being part of the IT sector is jobs in the STEM field are highly paid as compared to the other industries. We have quite high packages available in the IT sector if you compare it with other fields apart from the IT sector. And the third advantage is, see, technology is now the new normal. And after after pandemic, we have seen the power of technology, right? So the best part, which even I love about IT sector and this IT field, is that it is dynamic, right? Nothing is static here. We keep on learning new things every day because technology is something which doesn't remain the same. It keeps on updating every day. And in order to keep in pace with that, even we will have to keep on updating our knowledge. So we don't follow that monotonous way, right? So if you're a part of IT sector, if you're in this IT field, you do not follow that monotonous way that once you've entered, just that knowledge stays in your mind. No, you have to update yourself every time. So it always increases your knowledge, it adds up to your knowledge, you get to learn new skills every day. And that is the best part. It actually, you kind of grow within yourself and you get a sense of satisfaction when you do such a thing, at least from my point of view. The next is, I say that technological field is like an ocean. It is really vast. You have plethora and pandora of opportunities over there. You have many roles which you can apply for, and you have many career options. Like you can be a data analyst, you can be a web developer, you can be an IT manager, or maybe a program manager, and so on and so forth. So you can choose your career based on your area of interest. So you have vast opportunities available over here in the IT sector according to your technical background, right? You can be a freelancer. You can work, because we know work from home is the new normal. So you can work from home. You can be a freelancer. You can go in for the hybrid model where you can work from home and again be at the office. So you have a lot many opportunities, and especially after the pandemic, these all things have risen a lot. And the best part is, what I feel, this STEM field really helps women to give you more job satisfaction, right? Because due to independent thinking, it really helps in your independent thinking and problem solving way of thinking using critical thinking. And it takes out solutions. When you take out solution for a problem with different permutation and combinations, it really kind of increases your IQ level, and that is super duper important. Being in IT sector, your growth, your holistic growth is very important, and this is something which really helps you in your overall evolvement, I can say, because you start thinking critically, and in order to find solutions to a problem with different permutation combinations, this field is perfect for you because it gives you a sense of job satisfaction every time. So I would say at the end that inclusion in the STEM field by each one of us as women will build a peer upon the other fields, and it will actually build a platform for the other women in future to participate in. And that is very important, and that is responsibility of each one of us as women to empower each other and to increase the participation of others. Now I will be sharing my journey with you all of how I entered into this tech world, and then how I kind of build myself, and how it has helped in my growth and my evolvement as a student in this student journey. So I'll be going ahead with that, and before I start with that, I would really appreciate if you have any kinds of doubt or questions and all, you can always write it down there on the chats, and I would be more than happy to answer them, and let this be more of an interactive session rather than just being one way. So it is not a speech, it is an interactive session. So just in case you have any kind of doubts, you want to ask something, I'll be telling you further as well. So you can just kind of write it down on the chats and I will surely take it up. So as I entered into the Bachelor's of Information Technology field, before entering, I already had a background of C and C++ coding languages. But when I entered, because that time Python was the most in thing, and still it is. So I wanted to kind of update myself with the Python as a coding language, and that was something which even I was fascinated about. So I joined coding blocks when I took my took this Python course, and I did a 2.5 months course with them of Python, and my experience was quite good. And then, as you always say, you must be aware of, like, after Python, the first thing which comes into mind is machine learning. So then the second course which I went in for was machine learning from coding blocks. And again, it was an absolute amazing experience. And because I already had Python knowledge, so I thought that machine learning would have been the best option for it. So I went into that, and it really kind of, added up to my technical knowledge. And after doing Python and machine learning course from coding blocks, because of my performance and, I got selected as a teaching assistant for 2 batches of Python with the WebD. And again, that really kind of helped me in debugging skills, and, how it really improved my knowledge in Python. It really helped me in different spheres in terms of coding. So that was about it. And after having this strong technical background, I came across this wonderful program known as Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors Programs application. And I kind of filled in that application. The 2 reasons being because my technical background, coding background, and technical background was strong. Plus, I've been already contributing in the community since the last 7 years. So those were the 2 reasons, and I was like really passionate about community work. So I kind of filled in this Microsoft Student Ambassadors application, and I got selected in one go. And that was, I would say, one of the most beautiful experience and my beautiful journey as a student. This is the best thing which happened to me. And I would say Microsoft Student Ambassadors is a beautiful community which actually globally unites the student ambassadors from all across the globe. And it has really helped me to use technology for a good cause and to empower my peers in the community. And it has really kind of made me technically sound, I can say, with the Microsoft tools it provides. And it has really kind of helped me in every sphere of my growth and evolvement as a student. So of course, when I applied for it, I got selected, and the whole journey kind of kickstarted. So I'll be giving you a brief about my journey of how exponential my increasing my growth has been in this program, and how it has actually helped me out. So when I joined this program, I kind of started with the learning tools. It provides you with amazing Microsoft learning tools. For example, we have learning paths, where we have many learning modules where you can go in and you can choose the models according to your area of interest. So I'll just give my example. For example, I went in for the cloud, because I was really fascinated about cloud computing in the beginning, but I didn't have any knowledge about it. So when I saw this learning path, so I went in for it, and I had kind of done learning path on cloud computing and Microsoft Azure. So I completed the whole learning path, and it gave me a lot of knowledge, and something which I wasn't aware of. It provided me the whole beautiful knowledge of it. And similarly, there are many other learning paths available as well. For example, you have Power Apps, then AI and ML using Azure, and many more. If you explore, you will get to know according to your area of interest. So it gave me plethora of technical knowledge through the learning paths. Then we have cloud advocate calls over here. So cloud advocates are from the Microsoft company, which come over and they empower us with the latest tech tools, according to their technical background. So we keep on having these continuous calls, which are known as the cloud advocate calls. And then we have pilot programs, which they keep on introducing. So we have these lovely stuff which keeps on happening, which always keeps us on our toes, and which has always kind of, boosted my technical knowledge. Apart from this, they always concentrate on learning. Then you grab the knowledge and then you share it with others and empower your community. So once I learned these all things from them through their learning resources, etc., as it's my passion to always share my knowledge with the community, with my peers in the community, I started conducting events. To empower my peers in the community, to whom maybe this technology isn't available to, or maybe they are not aware of, in both the cases. So I started conducting events. A few of the events which I would like to name, for example, I conducted Introduction to Cloud Computing in Microsoft Azure. In fact, I have conducted couple of events on that along with my team, and it's been an amazing experience. I've got an amazing response from the people who've attended. And the reason of conducting these events is to impact them positively, because cloud computing and Azure is something, which is really new in this tech world, and it is very important for everyone to be aware of it, right? This is the latest knowledge, so I always believe in sharing the knowledge. So that is the reason I started conducting sessions on cloud computing in Microsoft Azure. After that, because even in the pandemic time, we all were at our homes and we were in lockdown. So I conducted these really interesting two events known as AI gaming. So it's on that's a platform which is provided by, again, Microsoft Student Ambassadors team. So it was really, I conducted that along with my student ambassadors team, other student ambassadors, and that was something really interesting, fun. Everyone could kind of do they could play the online AI gaming game through their own respective desktops, sitting at home. So that was something really interesting which I conducted. And of lately, I conducted one of the event which was empowering she in tech. So again, as I mentioned it in the in my earlier, in the beginning introduction, that I am a very strong advocate of women's right. And when I entered the tech field, I actually found that participation of girls is really, really less. But I've also noticed that girls are equally interested in participating, but it is just that they're not aware of it, maybe. So keeping that in mind, I conducted this beautiful session of empowering she in tech, where I just had girls audience. It was exclusively for girls, and it turned out, and I kind of told them about the Microsoft Student Ambassadors program over there, and that was one of the most I would say one of the successful events, because girls were really inspired, and the amount of great feedback I got from them. And in fact, it was so inspiring and encouraging for them. They were so interested in such, in joining such communities, that they actually applied for this program. After my session, few of the girls, they later on I got the feedback from them that they actually applied for this program, and kind of, they were just awaiting the results and etc. So that is what I mean to say, people are actually waiting out there, but it is just that we need to reach out to them and make them aware about it. Being girls, it is our duty to empower each other as much as we can in the technical field, and no one should be deprived of it. And then one of the events which I just recently conducted was empowering the visually impaired students with the Microsoft Office 365 tools and the Microsoft Seeing AI app, as I really believe that they are super intelligent, and they're really waiting for the right opportunity and guidance to come their way. So I reached out to them and I empowered them with the Microsoft Office 365 tools and Microsoft Seeing AI app. And the best part is that these students have been offered with the MTC vouchers, which is again a big thing. Getting certified in Azure is something really a big thing. So they have been offered that. So they're just in the process of completing their Azure learning path. And once they're done with that, so they can they'll be offered with the MTC vouchers, and yeah, and then they can just start off with their exams, good to go. So that's all about. So that is what I'm trying to say. I gained knowledge from the Student Ambassadors program, and further, I tried my level best to empower my fellow peers in the community and reach out to as many people as I can, as much as possible. And the best part about this community is it globally connects you with the other student ambassadors. So you're not just confined to your region, to your country, or to your state. You can connect to anyone, any student ambassador from across the globe. So if if someone resonates the same idea as yours, you can collaborate with them, you can form a team with them. See, because being in this IT world, it is very important to find a team. It is like, we always, if you want to develop something, or we want to work on a project, or we want to conduct an event, we always need a team, right? That is most of us, we just work in a team. And it is at times, people find it difficult to find a team, because obviously finding like-minded people becomes a bit tough at times. So here in this platform, Microsoft Student Ambassadors platform, it is very easy, because you have so many student ambassadors over there. So of course you find a team of like-minded people who resonate the same idea as yours, and you can collaborate with them, and it is lovely to do so because you actually get to know about the technical background, you get to learn so much from them. So for example, I'll just tell my example. We recently had not recently, like a few months ago, we had this ideathon social impact hack, where I was in a team of 17 people. Imagine 17 people. It was a big team, and those all people were from, like 4 5 of us were from India, and then one two were from UK, one two were from US. So we literally had so many people from all over the world in one team, and we had never met before. That was the first time we virtually met, and this happened during the pandemic. So you can well imagine we all were at our homes, just virtually connected. And yeah, we just came together because we had the same idea in mind, and we wanted to work on that idea, to develop a kind of a project sort of thing. So it was so good to connect with each other, learn so many things from each other. Like, some worked on business models, some on some other field, back end, front end, etc. So it was really, really good to kind of collaborate with them. So yeah, that's all about it. And I would really encourage you all girls out there that, we have so many opportunities, we have so many technical communities of which we can be a part of, and the opportunities are there. We need to avail those opportunities. It is very, very important. And the IT sector, IT industry is more than encouraging and welcoming us, but we need to avail that opportunity, right? And we are capable of that. And it is like, I would really recommend you all to kind of join the Microsoft Student Ambassadors program, because it's a lovely community, and you will yourself grow, and you will yourself learn so much in this journey. And don't think of too far, don't think that much about it. Just get into it, and you will yourself pave your own path, and you will get to learn a lot about it. So that's all about it. You have so many, you have so many opportunities out there. Grab those opportunities, make full use of it, and make your career in the tech world. That is the most important part, which I would like to say on the Women's Day. And you know it's like, and then you have coding blocks, which if you want to learn, if you want to learn other coding languages, of your choice. You have Java, C++, Python. You have so many things. You have machine learning and all. You can get into such institutes, learn coding and all, to kind of broaden your knowledge. And then, of course, you have at a global level, you have programs like Microsoft Student Ambassadors, beautiful technical community, beautiful. And you can be a part of such communities, which will really help you to pave your path. And you can really, really achieve a lot in this tech field, because it take cares of your holistic growth. So that is all about it. And that was from my side. And if you guys have any kind of questions, or you want to ask something from me, please feel free to write it on the chats. If you have any kind of doubt. Okay. दीदी कौन सी कंपनी में? Okay, so Udesh, I am a Microsoft student, gold Microsoft student ambassador. So that's again like, okay, that's student ambassadors community, Microsoft student ambassador community. So that I'm a gold Microsoft student ambassador for Microsoft. And I can actually, rather I'll just kind of tell you, because I maybe, if you want to know more about it. So like, you have different milestones in this program. Like, you have alpha, you have beta, and then finally you have what you have the gold. So you have to complete your learning paths, then you have to conduct events, you have to be quite active, and then based on your performance, you're made a gold Microsoft student ambassador. So we have different milestones over here. Okay, so the next question is, can somewhat average CS student get into MSP? Okay, so can somewhat average CS student? Yes, of course, Abhi. Of course, you can get into it. See, you should be having the passion to join it. Okay, you should be having the passion to learn new things, and you should be having the passion to contribute in the society, and to kind of empower your fellow peers. And as I said, the opportunity is open to everyone. You just have to apply for it. And in the application process, you can just fill in whatever they're asking. Just be real and just tell about your passion. What are you looking in for in the future, and what have been your past experiences and achievements. So fill in that, and yes, you can apply for it. Okay. Okay. Then the next question is the selection procedure hard, Abhi? So see, it's like, again, like I don't know what how to kind of see, that's the internal process, selection process. Okay. But what's in our hand is to fill in the best application. Rest is in their hand. You have to give in your video, and you have to fill in the whole application process, as I've answered earlier. So just fill in that, and just be positive about it. And of course, the selection process is internal, so I really can't get into that, comment on that. But yeah, you just kind of apply for it, and yeah, that's something in our hands, right? So don't think of that much far. Just apply for it. That's cool. Sachin, please speak slowly. Okay, Sachin. So what you're not able to understand, I can repeat that for you if you kind of found it a bit difficult to understand. Any other questions? Anyone, guys? Make this interactive. Any questions you have, you can ask me regarding my journey, what I've just said, or something similar, something related to tech. So you can ask me, and I am more than happy to answer your questions. Anyone? Okay, so Sachin is saying, after Python, what I do, um, what you should do, like Sachin, what are you saying? What you should do after Python? Okay, so I just completed my basics in Python. Okay, so see, Sachin, it absolutely depends on what you want to pursue in future. Okay, if you want, if you think that your Python is strong enough, okay, if you think that you've done the web development portion in Python or the app development portion in Python, and you really want to further explore it, then you can go in for machine learning. That is something which is really interesting, and having a background of Python will really help you out to do better. So if you're strong enough in Python, then you can go in for the machine learning part, if that's of your interest. That's what I'm saying. It absolutely depends on you, that you want to, you want to learn more, and you want to dig more into Python language, or you want to learn something more in which the knowledge of Python works out. So that again depends on you. But usually after Python, the next step which people usually do is machine learning. That is something, that's a generic opinion, but again, it depends on you. Absolutely. Um, Divyanshu is saying, I am a first year student of CSE. I want to learn web development course. Yeah, Divyanshu, sure, you can go ahead with web development. Whatever is your area of interest, you can surely go ahead with that. And that's what I'm saying. That's your interest. That's your field. You want to continue that. You can go ahead with web development. Sumit, happy Women's Day. Thank you, Sumit. And all the girls over here, whosoever are, happy Women's Day to you too. Mohammed Kaif, how I can crack competitive programming. So, Mohammed, you need to be, of course, you need to be strong in either C++ or Java, right? When you first be strong in the basics of it, right? It's very important to be strong in the basics of C++ and Java and all. And then the second step, if you're strong in the basics, then the second step comes on the competitive programming. And then of course you can go ahead and you can you have coding blocks. You can go ahead and you can see courses over there if you feel like, and you can go ahead with that. But first, make sure that your basics are very strong. The competitive program is the second step. For first is to make sure that your base is strong. Divyanshu ma'am, no ideal any programming language. uh, I start from course. Meaning, Divyanshu, what do you mean? You don't have any idea of coding languages. That is what you mean to say? Are you ask? What are you trying to ask me, Divyanshu? Are you asking me which programming language to start with? Is that your question? Just type down your question a bit clearly. Like, do you want me to tell you which programming language to start with, or what do you want to ask exactly? Yes, yeah. So you can see. I would suggest you like Mohammed Kaif also just kind of asked just now from me, um, like about competitive programming and all. So see, I would suggest you to start with C++, because even when I started with Python, I already had a background of C and C++. So it is very important. It's C and C++ doesn't make that much of difference. You can go ahead with C++ language. You can start with that, because even in my school I started with C++, so that's pretty fine. So if you want a suggestion from myself, I would say you can start with C++. That will really help you in future as well, or Java, C++ or Java, any one of both. uh, Abhi is saying the one thing I struggle with is maintaining consistency. Abhi, that is something in our mind. We need to be really balanced, and we really need to set our goal strong, and we need to focus upon it. I know we go through ups and downs, and we don't maintain consistency, but maintain a timetable. You know what your goal is to achieve, and you have to achieve that. And in order to do that, you have to work hard and maintain certain type of consistency in your work. And consistency and sustainability is something very, very important in whichever field you are, not only coding, anything. Okay, so it is very important to maintain consistency. And you're in which year? Like, are you in first year, Abhi? I don't know, I maybe missed out. So no issues if you're kind of even in your initial years. Try to, now that you all are at home, I don't think so colleges have started yet, we all are virtually connected and all. So you can always maintain a timetable and try to devote few hours in a day. And whatever you're doing, just do it with full concentration. See, quantity doesn't matter, quality matters, right? So you have to look, see from a broader perspective, that it doesn't matter that how long you're studying, but how much, with how much effective mindset you are studying, how much, how much concentration you're putting in those hours, that is important. Like, just a small change in my routine will disturb me so much that who could code for hours. With absolute focus will not continue after until a few days. So what should I do? You're a second year student. Um, Abhi, again, like, you have to, right? If you have to achieve something, you have to maintain. See, don't, it's like, don't put in hours and hours because you're sitting, as this, you're in front of laptops. We all are in front of laptops because of this pandemic thing, since a year. So don't put in like 7-8 hours in front of the laptop for coding, because see, people do coding for 8 hours also a day. I do it so many times. But it actually depends on you, how much you can take it. So if you feel that it's giving you a lot of burden, so just kind of reduce your time limit, given 2 to 3 hours per day, and try to maintain a consistency. If you feel that every day is being, you're having pressure, then keep it, study for 4 days a week, keep 3 days off, do it alternatively. That's again, that's just up to you, because everyone has a different way of studying, right? Everyone follows a different routine. So I don't know how, which type of routine you follow, but that could be a suggestion from my side, that do not pressurize yourself, but take it as a fun way, enjoy it and do it, and make it your passion. That's how you will continue to kind of further focus. Yuvraj is saying, I want to apply for internship. I'm into JavaScript, but I don't know if I am ready yet. Do companies help us if we get stuck? It depends on the company. First, it depends if you get selected, and then it depends on the type of company it is, right? You need to clear your first initial internship rounds, and then finally, so it depends from company to company. I can't, Yuvraj, I can't say much about it because, you know, it depends from company to company. You need to be strong enough if you're applying, if you are applying for internship at a good company. So then, of course, you need to be quite strong enough on that. So that is always there. You're welcome, Abhi. I hope so I answered your question, Yuvraj, because initial steps of internships are always to be cleared, right? And after that, only we can, once you get into that and then you're into learning and all, then kind of company has its own this thing. But initially, you need to be strong when you're applying. Any other questions? Any other questions? Vijay, I'm good in. Vijay, I can just kind of just suggest you to again kind of work again and again, do questions based on DS and algo so that you don't mess up on the for the internships and all. That is one suggestion which I could give you, because if you are good at development, that means you have a good hold of coding, right? But of course, DS and algo is something which is very important from the internship point of view. So you can kind of just work hard on it, try more questions, try to solve. It says no. Practice makes a man perfect. So keep on practicing, and that's the maximum I can suggest. That keep on practicing, try different type of question, different level of questions. Medium and the high level questions, so that you don't kind of get stuck in between. But if you're good at development, then I'm sure you have a good hold of coding. So it's just a little bit portion which needs to be covered, and you can do that. And of course, best of luck for your future applications with the company. Pankaj, one must. Okay, so this is a good question. See, first of all, of course, because you're applying for a technical company, I hope so you're talking about a technical company, right, Pankaj? So your coding, your technical skill, your background should be really very, very strong. And, that is something which is there for all the companies, that you're technically, you should be very strong. But one thing which I would recommend is, even like there's so many people who actually clear the initial rounds of coding and all. But one thing which is very important, your communication skills. That is also something very important, that you should be able to convey your message to the person who is sitting in front of you. That is very important. So that is something. In having a good having a good resume which has all your contributions in it. That is something very important. These are two, three things which you need to keep in mind. Coding is number one, your technical knowledge. But apart from that, your communication skills, how you communicate, and how you present yourself in front of the interviewer. That is also something of real big importance. So that is something which I really, I feel that is one of the most important part of interviews. Pankaj, I hope your question is answered. Yuvraj, I haven't gone in for a startup to be very honest because I'm very keen about what my goal is. So um, I'm not too keen as of now going into startups and all because I've been what my background has been. So my focus and my goal is something else. Not getting into startup right now. But yeah, like I know people who have kind of done internships at startups. So yeah, I have a few known people who have kind of been interns in a startup. So that much I can tell you that yeah, they do have like most of the startups, depending on the level they are at, they do have interns. Anyone else? I think I've answered all the questions. If anyone else has any kind of question or want to ask something, you're welcome, Yuvraj. I think I've answered all the questions, right? And if anyone has any kind of questions, again, you can, any girls, if there are any girls here and you want to ask some questions from me, you can feel free to write on the chats. Anyone? Though I've answered all the questions and I hope someone missed out on any question, though I haven't, but still, just check it once. So I think we are done with the questions, and I have answered all the questions, and so let's then kind of. I hope this session was quite helpful for you all, and I try to share my experience with you all, and I hope it turns out to be beneficial for you in some way or the other in your journey. So yeah, thank you so much, Coding Blocks, once again for having me over here, and it was a great experience altogether. Thank you.